Hi, I'm back in my garden today to finish what I started yesterday. And I do apologize for having to cut short the video, as the video as a whole was almost running up to 45 minutes long. And for many rose enthusiasts like myself, just don't really have that kind of time to sit and watch something as long as that. So I'm gonna start off with what I started, but what I need to really be careful today is these two little creatures there. I almost stepped onto one of them yesterday, so I really need to be very careful not to squish them. And that is a turtle called Ginger, and that's Lucky. They're not my pets, they're my daughter's pet. But the garden is really looking beautiful and very colorful today. So let's get back to what I was doing at number 10. At number 10 is monstedwood, and this is a retired DA rose and a very, very sought after one too. And this year's fallen quite a few places for me this year. I'm not detecting a strong fragrance from this rose. And I know the fragrance can determine on the day and on the weather. And I don't detect a strong fragrance even on a hot sunny day. Really, really nice fragrance, but not very, very strong. And look at these beautiful velvety in color, almost like a burgundy oxblood really pops up under the green foliage. And there is a myth, people often say that thorny roses are very, very fragrant, and for me that it's just coincidence. I mean, I've smelt some really, really beautiful roses that aren't very thorny. And these blooms are quite spent now. I think they're quite a few days old. Gorgeous, gorgeous color, and a very, very good rose. At number 9, this is Pacific Blue, rose bred by Tantau, and the only rose that's on the list. And look at these beautiful, really almost like a lilac, pale white in color. This bloom is a few days old now. This is the new prodigy of Twice in Blue Moon, but this is a much better specimen. And look at that perfect bloom there. It is absolutely beautiful and almost a typical hybrid tea form. And the scent, lovely, lovely tea, fruity scent, not very strong, but really, really lovely to smell. And it says Pacific Blue, but it isn't really that blue. It's almost like a lilac in color, almost very, very silvery as well. It really is such a beautiful rose with a beautiful color. At number 9 is Pacific Blue. At number 8 is Eustacia Vi, bred by David Austin. This is really truly an outstanding rose. The color is just amazing, and the fragrance is just truly exceptional, very strong, very fruity with a hint of citrus. This is really a very, very gorgeous specimen bred by David Austin. And this is the reason why I've got 4 of these around my garden. Really such a gorgeous, gorgeous rose with a very, very healthy and upright growing habit. Really is a rose that deserves to be on the list. A lot of these blooms are almost over now. They're not that many, but there is a few that I can show you. At number 8 is Eustacia Vi, and since I am here, I'm going to show you quickly this rose. This is a rose that really has surprised me. This is Meteor, a rose bred by Cordz, a really newly introduction in this country, and it won awards for 2024. Such a beautiful, bright and vibrant in color, and the petal formations are really tightly packed. And the good thing about these blooms, it's been like this for almost 2 weeks now, and the formation of these petals really doesn't change. It stays like this for almost the entire cycle of these blooms. Really such an outstanding rose. And when I first bought it, I wasn't really unsure about the color, but now that I've seen it for real, I really love it. And look at the size of these blooms. It is quite big, and yet it's still upright. It's just truly unbelievable. And this is starting to become one of my favorite roses in my garden. It really is an outstanding rose. As you can see there, the foliage is really healthy, and no signs of any disease or whatsoever. And look at that, I've got a couple of new basil shoots coming from the bottom. Wow. Rose of the year for 2024, for a very good reason. At number 7 is Poet's Wife by David Austin, and this really is a true yellow rose. There is no other tone other than being yellow, and the fragrance on this is truly exceptional. Wow, really strong, very with hints of old rose and hints of citrus. Really truly is exceptional. And these blooms are probably second flush blooms, as first flush are generally a lot more bigger, but really the color is just so striking and so rich in yellow, and really distinguished from many other David Austin roses. It's just the scent is absolutely gorgeous, and anyone who does have this rose would totally agree with me. Really beautiful scent. I'm gonna give it another sniff. Oh wow, really fantastic. At number 7 is Poet's Wife, and this is Gertrude Chico. Beautiful rose. Rose that really has an outstanding fragrance. Lovely strong old rose scent. Very early bloomer, so really it's not producing many flowers at this time of the year, because it is almost finishing her first flush, as she is always the one first to flower. But I'm sure most people agree with me that this is one of the most fragrant roses in David Austin's collection, and rightly so. She is definitely will have that top 10 spot in anyone's collection. And this one is a new introduction by Cordz, a rose gorgeous perfumer, and it's only been introduced into this country this year. Look at that, clusters of buds on each, that really strong sturdy stem, absolutely really solid, and the leaves are really thick and leathery, and when you see leaves like this, the disease resistance is going to be very good. And these blooms are almost like a cream to white. I don't really have many whites and reds. Never really been a huge fan of these two colors. But look at that. The scent is, oh, beautiful. Really strong. And I can't really describe the scent on this rose, other than that it does have a hint of myrrh. Oh, lovely. I just smelled Earth Angels just a minute ago, and that one has good scent, but really it doesn't really compare to this. And Gertrude Chico at the back there really smells strong and powerful, but after 4 or 5 sniff of it, you kind of get sick and tired of the scent. But this one is really addictive, and I would not get tired of smelling this rose. Absolutely gorgeous and very upright. And at some point I would be needing to move this to the ground, as it is gonna be quite a tall rose. And since I am here, I'm gonna look at the 2 other Cordzes as well. This one is Bliss Parfumer. It's got a light scent. It's got a weird scent. And then over there is fruity parfumer. And let's have a look at those blooms. And these blooms are starting to ball up. We did have quite a lot of rain a few days ago, and this one seems to have that tendency of balling up. I'm getting a very light scent from this rose, but these two perfumers really can't match this one. Look at that. Lovely, lovely rose. So far, this is one of my favorite perfumers from Cordz. Gorgeous perfumer. What a fantastic rose. I'm gonna give it another sniff. Ooh. Okay, lovely. At number 4 is a rose bred by David Austin, a climbing rose called Strawberry Hill. And this really has a lovely myrrh fragrance, a very well balanced myrrh fragrance. Let me smell it now. Really, really nice. My favorite scent, of course, is myrrh, and if I had my way, I would probably have number 1, number 2, and 3 myrrh, but that would be very unfair to the roses that don't smell like myrrh. And there is other 2 roses that has this very similar strong myrrh scent. One would be Septic Isle, and that really has a very strong, powerful myrrh scent to a point where it's very unpleasant to smell. And another rose would be Distant Drums, and for me, in my opinion, has better scent than Strawberry Hill. Unfortunately, that isn't in flower, but if that was in flower, I think that would replace Strawberry Hill at number 4. And the growing habit is quite a strange one for Strawberry Hill. There's not a lot of foliage on the bottom half of the plant. And I'm just going to show you James Galway since I am here. Look at that beautiful formation of color, and the formation. These petals are almost like a spinning around in circles, just to create this lovely, lovely, beautiful rose. And it does have a scent. Really lovely to medium scent. And there was a bloom just between there a couple of days ago, and that really just disappointed to know that it really shattered so quickly, almost like 2 days. I was just shocked, and I just hope it doesn't happen to the rest of these blooms, because look at that, really, really stunningly beautiful, very unique. And I won't be including this one on the list, of course, but I just wanted to show you how beautiful this bloom is. But yeah, let's get back to this rose. Strawberry Hill at number 4. Princess Alexandra of Kent, bred by David Austin. Look at that, isn't she beautiful? I've always been one of my favorite roses. And I love the form of these flowers and the color, and of course the scent. Oh, it really is so beautiful, very strong, fruity, with a hint of citrus. It's such a shame to see this rose come down so quickly. I mean, she's always been top 3 of my favorite, most fragrant rose in my collection. But this year, I think I've got quite many new varieties that have, for me, better fragrance. And I'm finding it very difficult to decide whether I like this one or Boscobel. I mean, this one really has a stronger fragrance, but Boscobel just seems to have that nice fragrance. And the growing habit of this is not very pretty, in fact. And there isn't that much foliage on the bottom half of the bush, and there is a couple of blooms down here, but I've got a flowering carpet right behind it, so I suppose that could make up for the minimum foliage on this bush. So perhaps we can just concentrate on and admire the beauty of this rose. This rose was one of the first flowering roses for me, and right at the beginning it gave me a few blooms, and all the way up till now she's always produced some flowers that almost every month, almost blooming sporadically or periodically ever since the season started, and making this almost a continuously bloomer. So I have yet to decide whether I should put this above Boscobel or just below Boscobel, because these two are really just almost equal in terms of scent. At number 3, I'm gonna put this alongside Princess Alexandra of Kent. This is Boscobel. I'm really finding it difficult to decide which one would have better fragrance, one or the other. So I'm gonna make my life a lot easier and have 2 at number 3. And these blooms really smells gorgeous. Online it says has a fragrance with hints of hawthorn. God knows what that smells like. And elderflower. I've never smelled elderflower, so I don't know what that's like. And hints of almond and pear. But to make it simple for me, in my nose, I just smell very sweet and very fruity and very, very divine. And all these blooms are almost upright facing, so all you need to do is just put your nose above it, and then just the scent is just unbelievable. And that one in the middle there, it's almost a few days old now, so it's probably no scent left because I've been smelling it for the past couple of days. So this is a David Austin Rose at number 3, alongside Princess Alexandra of Kent. And up next, this is a rose called Parfumeur de Provence, bred by Milan, and also known as Delish in the US and in parts of Europe, and also is known as Lime Reynolds. Look at these beautiful clusters of frilly petal blooms. Gorgeous. And what is so special about this bloom is this fragrance. Oh, wow. Very, very strong, very sweet, and almost perfume-like. And in fact, you can buy a perfume called Parfumeur de Provence. It reminds me of Boscobel and the scent from Yves Piaget at the back of my garden. And the blooms are very similar to Yves Piaget as well, very, very loosely open and very frilly. And the scent is almost identical as well. Beautiful, beautiful rose. And this rose has 2 really main characteristics which I want in a rose, and the fragrance, of course, and the fact that these blooms really last a long time. I mean, equally as long as Leonardo da Vinci, and that one has known for its long-lasting blooms. And another rose by Milan. And what I find with the Milan roses, their blooms are very loosely formed and very fully opened, and majority of Milan roses always very, very long-lasting, which I like. I just had a sniff of Princess Alexandra at the back of my garden, and honestly the scent really doesn't compare to this one. I've only had this for about a year now. I'm really super impressed. Really, really exceeds my expectations for this rose. Oh, sorry, I can't contain my excitement whenever I smell this rose. I think really Milan have really stood their ground and breed such a wonderful rose. And I'm starting to really like Milan roses more than some of my other David Austin roses. And the scent is really the reason why. Absolutely fantastic rose. I will walk slowly to my number 1 most fragrant rose for 2024, and there it is. This is Wallon Old Hall by David Austin. Isn't she magnificent? What a beauty. Outstanding rose for me, and the fragrant. If you are not familiar with myrrh and you have a sensitive to smell, do not buy this rose, because this rose will really knock you out. I had a sniff of this rose at the David Austin's headquarters a couple of weeks ago, and really the smell really just blew me away. And oh wow, very strong, one of the strongest myrrh scent that I've ever smelled. And I know myrrh is not everyone's favorite scent, but for me, myrrh is probably one of my favorite, and not the fact that this is really strong and powerful. Really, wow. And I couldn't pick a better day. The sun's really shining, and the scent is really emitting from these blooms. And the good thing is that these flower petals are very loosely formed, but they do last quite a while, and the scent really stays really right up to the end of the cycle of these blooms. But wow, really just such a beautiful rose. And this is very similar to a Duke de Obscure, which I don't have, and I'm gonna try and get hold of that next year alongside Abraham Darby. So once I've got these two roses, I shall be doing the most fragrant rose of all my David Austin. So these two are the really the only two fragrant roses that is missing from my collection. But I think I've got this already, and I probably won't need Duke de Obscure. Wow. Ooh, really strong, very powerful. Oh my gosh. I got these two lovely long canes here. I think there's another one, and eventually that would climb up the rose arch. But of course this is a climbing rose. Wow. What a wonderful rose. There it is, my most fragrant rose for 2024 in my collection is Wallon Old Hall. I am going to be very naughty and have two number ones. This is a rose really that should be on that number one spot, and for me it's very difficult really to decide whether I like this one or Wallon Old Hall. And truly there's just very different smell. And this is Yves Piaget, bred by Milan. Really truly fantastic rose. Look at that color, and the formation of these blooms just so unique. And I have quite a lot of roses in my garden, and a lot of buds that look very classic and with different formations. But this is really a unique, and the color is just so beautiful. And what it is so special about this rose is the scent. The fragrance is absolutely amazing. The fragrance is so strong. It's almost like smelling perfume. It does smell like just perfume, no other words. It's truly exceptional. Wow, what a phenomenal fragrance. For me to use that big wood on my very minimal vocabulary really is something that's special, incredible. Sensational scent. And I wouldn't go out rushing to buy this rose for health and vigor, because this isn't a healthy rose. And I did have some black spots on those two stems there, which I removed the leaves. But then again, a lot of my roses does have black spot anyway, so whether I should put the blame on this one or not, I don't know. As you can see there, there's a bud there, and that's a spent bloom. That bud smells really strong, probably stronger than 99% on all my roses. And that's just a bud. Really is crazy. And there is a downside to the strong pungent of this rose, and it smells really, really lovely now, and next, probably by tomorrow, that fragrance would have been gone. And for me, that's kind of disappointing, but today I get to smell this incredibly stunning, stunning fragrant rose. It truly is out of this world. Really, I have number 1 and 2 roses that are bred by Milan on this list, and really goes to show what Milan as a breeder is capable of. There you have it. At joint number 1, alongside my Wallon Old Hall, is Yves Piaget. That's it, ladies and gentlemen. I've picked 20 of the most fragrant roses in my garden for this year. And some of you might be disappointed that I didn't pick and name any of the ones that you like. And the truth is, we all have different sense of smell and like and dislike. And I do apologize if I didn't pick the ones that you like. And my garden is a very, very small garden, and I don't really have all the fragrant roses. Well, no one has all the fragrant roses, but it's really been a pleasure just for me compiling a list of 20 of the most fragrant roses in my garden and in my own opinion. It's really been enjoyable indeed. And now I'll leave you with Lady Gardener and picture of our blue sky in sunny UK. Well, ladies and gentlemen, and I hope you all have a lovely day.